This conference will now be recorded.
So when we have to go for a listing, whenever you want to maintain a multiple elements or multiple values with single reference, and again, if you want to maintain, if you want to get size in dynamic, if you want to get more manipulations, I think more method, if you want to use more methods and go for a collections and that to list. If you want to maintain duplicate elements, you want to maintain duplicate elements, go for list classes. If you want to, if you don't want a duplicate element, if you want to avoid duplicates, go for hash it, linked hash it, right? So that is about list classes and set classes. And here I have to discuss one more concept here. Let me discuss tree set. Let me create a new class. Let me take main method. Let me create object of reset. Reset is equal to new reset. Coming from team Java.util package. Remember, people may ask you a question like this: Do you know about collections? Do you know about what is the use of Java.util package? So what is the difference between list and set? What is the difference between the set and map? People may ask like this. You can accept n number of questions in n number of ways from here. So personally, I faced the interview. So what is the see? The guy simply asked, "What is the use of Java.util package?" Simply, I said we have a collections. We can use collections. We can manipulate the data. If you want to maintain a number of elements, if you want to avoid duplicates, and if you want to maintain number of elements with dynamic size. So this is the classes we have. These are the implementation class of list, and these are the implementation class that, and these are the implementation class. Ma'am, this is why I have given an answer at the time of interview. But he technically asked, is there any use other than the collections from Java.util package? That's what his second question. And one more thing, I know that we can use date functions, but I don't know the date function coming from this Java.util. Remember, so people may ask questions in number of ways. And here you have to remember from which package you are getting each and every class. So up to now, from Java we have discussed majorly two package theme, Java.lang package and Java.util package. This is the most important package from Java, Java.util package and Java.lang package. Where we have used Java.lang package team. Have you remember Java.lang package? Anyone? Java.lang package. See, whatever you're writing code, at least a single word also, you have to know in depth, in detail. So what is the class name? Where it is coming from? So what is this parent class? What is the parent interface? What are the methods we have? What is the use of each and every method? And what are the overloaded methods? Right? So this is reset. See, Java.lang package. On the java.lang package, we have a classes called object class, and we have a classes called string class. These are all coming from java.lang package. Clear, team? Now, so can I create object by using a parent interface? That's right. So what is this TSET parent interface? What is use of this parent interface? What is the parent interface of TSET?
Object.
Parent interface. I'm asking parent interface. Object is not a interface. Object is a class. See here. Preset parent interface set. It is a preset set implementation class 3. Hashed, linked hashed, preset. I am getting error here because I have to import it. Right? Import from where? Java.util package. Java.util.set, java.util.preset. Set interface, object reference is equal to new preset. Right? So how can I add elements to this object? How can I add element to this object? Quickly, team. Add method, we have seen add method. Right? So we can add elements like this 10, right? 20, 30, 40, 50. Right? So 20, 30, 40, 50. Right? What is the output, team? If I give output, what will be the output? Come on, team. Try to respond. What may be the output?
Ten to 50.
10 to 50. Why we don't get 20?
Duplicate.
Because already we have added 20. Exactly. Already we have added 20. See, this tree set is what happened with the class? Tree set is coming from set classes, set interface. Right? So what is the difference between distance setting? Set will not allow duplicates. If you're trying to add element, second time it's always check whether we have added element earlier or not. If you added, if you won't get added next second time or third time. Right? If it is not there, then it will be added. And this add method in type what? Boolean type. Right? And this is tree setting. And observe here, why we are going for tree set when we are good tree set. Can I add like this? Can I add like this, team? Observe the output. What we are getting, team? Last cost exception. This is remember, team. Tree set. So what are the points tree set? So just give key points. One of the implementation class of set interface. Right here, for collection objects, either array list, linked list, hash set, linked hash set. So we can add all homogeneous or heterogeneous. But especially in tree set, we can add only homogeneous. Why, team? the main intention of a tree set is to get sort order. To get sort order. See, if you want to get element in sorting order, observing. So earlier, how we got 10 to 20. Observe 10 to 20. Observe here. I'm initially first here. I'm adding 100. Observe. First I'm adding 100. After that 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Observing. 100 coming from where? 100 where I added 100 first. And how where I'm getting 100? By the time of executing, it is getting last. Then what is the use of tree setting? If you want to get sort order, use tree set. So default sort order is what in ascending order. Then see, if you add anyway, observe here. If you add 1000 first here, 1000 first here, what is the output team? Now 1000 will get last. But I am adding 1000, but by the time of execution, 1000 considering as first. But that's why default order of the tree set is ascending order. Now observe here. If I'm trying to add string here, I'm getting what exception? See here. If I'm trying to add string here, program is considering, see, initially it is considering as it may be a number as same thing. See, by the time of adding the string, program will compare with each and every element whatever we have added earlier. And it is considering string. String is greater than or less than 100, or string is greater than less than 100, 1000, then it will compare with each and every element. Why it is comparing with each and every element? Because it has to set sort order. Yes or no? If you give numbers dynamically, randomly, by the time of execution, it will give you sort order by comparing with each and every element, each and every number. So if you use another data type, so by the time of execution, program will always check with previous elements. Now, if we execute this one, so program is checking with 1000 initially with selenium is greater than or less than 1000. No, right? So it cannot compare with other data types. That's why you can able to add only one data type for your tree set. Tree set is a specially designed class in collections. So what is the use of tree set? So if you want to get sort order, use a tree set. So what is the default sort order? Ascending sort order. And you can use only one data type. Why we are using only one data type team? Because the implementation is such a way that it has to compare whatever the data you are adding with existing each and every element. Program cannot compare one data type to another data type. How can I compare it whether the selenium is greater than 1000 or less than 1000? It's typically impossible, right? That's why the people are remove this concept. For your tree set, you can add only single data type. Shading for remaining classes. For remaining classes, except tree set, you can add any data type. Clear? Please let me know if you have any doubts. Please ping me any doubts, no problem. Bhargavi ma'am, any question? Okay, thank you. Only one thing here, the implementation of preset is, see earlier what we are doing team, earlier either list or set. Here, let me create a list class. So by using parent interface difference, list equals to New, you can take array list or linked list. Let me take linked list here. Linked list, right? So how to add? You can add the same number to linked list, but this time take the object list, list, list. Create the list object. After adding this one, right? List. Import this list also. From where? Java.ut. Okay. Now, same. Let me add this time. See list object. 1000, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Observing in list, it is maintaining some order. Yes, sir. Now you can say the major difference between list and set. So if you add elements, linked list maintain order same whatever you are adding. So initially, first I am adding 1000. After that, I am adding 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. It will maintain order. Nothing but insertion order. List will maintain insertion order. Whereas set maintaining insertion order, no. Especially tree set, it's maintaining default ascending order. Clearly? Now, here, let me try to add this to this one. My list, let me add string. Okay, am I getting any exception here? Yeah, no exception. Irrespective of your data type, so collection objects will take your data except what tree set. Why tree set it won't take? Because tree set will sort your the data whatever you're giving. And if you give more than one type of data, by the time of ascending, program may confuse and what is the difference between and what is the what is the difference between two elements, and the program always check with each and every element by the time of adding your value. That's why you should not give more than one data. Creating and observe here. Observe here. So let me comment on this one. Let me comment on this one. So now let me give Java and Selenium. Observe. See here. Now it can able to differentiate between two strings. Why I'm getting Java first? Because alphabetic numeric. So J come first, then S. Clear? Always by the time of adding, see initially by the time of adding Selenium, program will check whether this set, especially tree set object having any data string. No, it is not there. It will add, and by the time of adding Java, it will check whether already there is any existing value. Now, yes. So what is the existing value? Selenium, right? In this Selenium. So what is the first letter? S. So in this, what is the first letter? J. In alphanumeric, what is the first letter? J or S? J, and it will store J first and then S. Clearly? No. Array list, linked list, hashed, linked list, hashed. There is no much difference between array list and linked listing. There is only one difference. We'll discuss at the time of interview questions. Right point of time we'll discuss. There is no any difference between array list and linked list as of now. Okay, and hashed, linked hash set, no difference. And the difference between tree set and these classes are these two classes, hash set and linked hash set, accept both homogeneous element and heterogeneous element. Tree set will not accept heterogeneous elements. Why, team? Because tree set is implemented such a way that it can sort your elements. Clear? And coming to the maps. Coming to the map. Let me take main method. In coming classes, we should not use main method. Remember. Okay. And what are the implementation class of map, team? Map implementation class are hash map, linked hash map, tree map. Again, there is no much difference between tree map and tree set. Now let me discuss about hash map. Hash map, right? So let me create object of hash map. How to create team? Hash map object name equal to new hash map. Right? Coming from where, team? Coming from java.util package. Remove this. We'll discuss why we are getting this one. Right? And hash map. Okay. And how to add values, team? How to add elements? If I want to add this object, how to add? What is the method we are using? Come on, team, quickly. To know what the method we have used.
Add method.
Add method, right? Observe here. Observe here. Hash map object dot add. Do we have any add method here? No. That's why hash map or map interface, it is not child class of collection. Add method coming from where, team? Add method coming from collection interface, so that you can use on top of list implementation classes, set implementation classes. Now, if you want to add elements to your map classes, you have to use put method. So what is the method we have to use? To adding values, we have to use put method. Then what is the major difference between list and set and map? Why when we have to go for map? So if you want to add, or if you want to maintain key and value pairs. Key and value pairs. What is a key and value pair thing? For example, let's consider a simple your contact details. Your contact details like David mobile number. How it will store team? David mobile number, this one, 9989, like this. Right? This is David mobile number. So here David is considering as a key and his mobile number is considering as a value. Like this John, this is John name and John mobile number, like this. And in map you can store values key equals to value space. Your values, whatever the value it's storing, is storing as key and value. So like this, observe here. Map dot, what is the method, team? Put method. So what is the put method asking parameter? Put method object key, object value. Right? Let me give same this David. So if you want to convey this one, we have to give like this. Let me give string David. string job, right? Directly you can give RX. Let me give as of now 1, 2, 3 David, right? And let me give job here. John is not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Okay, you can comment on this one. Anyway, my object hash map object, it is asking parameter like this, right? Object, right? Observing first initially. I am getting a safety measurement. Okay, okay, okay. Before that, I'll have to tell you one more concept team here. Before this one, simple concept. Before map, let me give you generic collection object. What is a generic collection object? Simple team. So, and first of all, initially, why we are going for collection objects team? Why we are going for a collection object?
Size.
Exact size. Very good. So first of all, so if you want to get dynamic size, go for a collection object, right? To avoid by the time of creating, we should not give a arrays, right? Arrays to overcome drawback of array. So by the time of array creation, we have to give the size of array. Here we don't need to give size, and there we can able to add only homogeneous element. If you want to maintain heterogeneous element, go for object array. Here you can add for a collection object. You can add values either homogeneous or heterogeneous, and always all the collection object size is dynamic. And moreover, here we are having n number of methods to adding value, deleting value, getting value, and even to sorting values. Yes, sir. If you want to sort numbers, so dynamically, what is the collection object, collection class we are using? Theme tree set, right? Just now we have discussed. So these much flexibility we have in collection object, and even we have a type safety. If you want to get type safety and use generic collection object. What is the type safety? That's the thing. So let me create class here. Let me copy one of this one. Release client. Observe. Generic. Let me take main method. See here. This is the array list. There is no much difference. There is no much new thing. Already we know. So how to add elements for a collection object? First create an object of any class, array list or linked list, right? And add your element by using add method. So what is my add method parameter team? Add method parameter. List dot add. What is it is asking? Commanding. By seeing itself, we can say
Object.
object, right? So whatever you are giving the whatever we are passing the value in internally, it is converting into object. So why it is converting into object? Because object can hold any data type. Object is a superclass of all classes. Object can hold anything. That's why that is the major implementation of collections. In arrays, we cannot hold integer array. Integer array cannot hold string, or integer array cannot hold double. Integer array cannot hold other data type. And here to overcome this, people are implemented these collection objects, all the collection classes. So this add method asking a parameter of what object. Object, if you pass value internally, it will convert into object. And by the time of getting also, you will get as an object. By the time of retrieving your values, after you are adding to the collection object, at the time also you are getting as an object. Observing here, let me get a value from this list. System dot out dot println observing. If you want to get this 10 value, if you want to get this 10 value, list dot get from where team index number 0. So in 0 index, what is the value we are having? 10 value. Observing 10, right? And observe what is the return type of get here? Object. So we are adding integer number and add method converting this 10 value into object. By the time of retrieving, it is returning object. Here, if you want to get, now observe this time this get method returning what? Return type what team? Object. And this time the add method adding value parameter what? Object. There, no confusion, right? So we are adding number. By the time of adding, add method add method sorry, add method parameter is object. Whatever the value you're adding, so internally it is converting into object, storing into list object as a object, and these are all considering as object. If you want to get the values, use method what get method. Get method return type what? Object. Now observing, if you want to add homogeneous elements to your collection object, again repeating thing. If you want to add homogeneous elements to your collection object, then go for generics. Generics nothing but here you can use your data type. Here, if I say integer, earlier observing here for my list object, here can I add any data type? Yes or no? I can add any data here. Let me use selenium. So after that, system.out.println. So let me print my list object. Series. Run as Java application. You will get list object 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 and selenium. I can use both homogeneous and I can use heterogeneous. Now, so as a part of generics, I can use type safety. My object can act like homogeneous. So we have to use like this. Wrapper classes after your object, after your class, after your object, nothing but your class name. Here after your class name, you have to use wrapper classes. So what is the use team? What is the use of this one? Observe team. Observe. What is the use of this one? Now, this time if I'm trying to add selenium, I'm getting error. Have you observed? Earlier, am I getting any error? So I can able to add selenium. Now, if I print this one, I'm getting these values and along with selenium. Now, after adding here integer, after adding here wrapper class, I'm not able to add another data type. Now observe this time add method parameter what team? Add method parameter. Now this time it is changing object to integer. Now dynamically, if you add this one, if you add generic, this is we are calling as generic. If you add generics to your collection objects, your get method, your add method is dynamically change parameter. Observe this time, so get method return type what team? It is changing to object to integer. Clear team? Let me give you so non-generic collection object. List non-generic equals to new array list. Right? This is non-generic. Already we know it, right? So we can use all these values for my non-generic collection object. Use this one, non-generic collection object, non-generic collection object, non-generic collection object, non-generic collection object, non-generic. Observe team. Am I getting any error here by adding surname here? Here in 14 line, I am not getting any error. In 21 line, I am getting error. Why? Why team? Because it is a non-generic collection object. We haven't added any generics. So after adding generics here for this collection object, see here there is no any difference before adding this generics. After adding generics, now my collection object is acting like it can accept only one data type, and it is becoming as homogeneous. And this is every time why we are going for collection object team. If you want to add heterogeneous elements, if you want to maintain both number of data types, go for a collection object. Then again we are decreasing our collection object version here. How? If you want to maintain homogeneous, now here I don't want to maintain different data types. I want to add only one data types to my collection object. That time take this generic version. Clear team? Then what is the generic team? Generic version. If you want to maintain only single data and convert your collection object into generic version and use like this. How to use team? Again, you can use syntax like this. Class name here, data type here you have to use your wrapper class, not primitive. You have to use wrapper class. Right? Object reference equals to new keyword, normal, and your class name. Right? After that, same here. Data type within the greater than less than symbol, use the data type. Then constructor, right? Like this. Okay, team. And even I can create object like this. My generic class, I can create object like this. List interface, right? Parent interface. List object implementation class. Okay, syntax. Now use second syntax. You can use like this. Here, not class name. Here, parent name. That may be parent class or parent interface. You can use parent class or parent interface. Clear? And Even if you don't maintain here, you don't get any error. Then it is also considering as your collection object generic version. This is optional. This is an optional. If you maintain or not maintain here in this place, so you don't get any exception, any error. Even though if you are not maintained here itself, second after the equals. This is also considering as collection object with generic version. Even let me give this. But here the mandatory team. So by the time of parent here it is mandatory. If you don't give here, if you directly give here after your child class runtime object, see here, you won't get any error, but mandatory you have to mention here parent interface or parent class. Team here you have to use here is mandatory. Okay, please let me know if you have any doubts regarding generic version. Generic version of collections object. You can use any data type or any collection object. Use like this, and you can able to add a single data type. That too integer. Here, if I make my collection object into string like this, now this time you can able to add string list string. Now observing. Now this time I'm getting error for numbers. I'm not getting error for string because this what the generic type this one. This is a string generic type collection object. If it is courses, let's consider simple example. If it is a one institute course, or else I can give student names here. Student names, right? So student names obviously string, right? So let's consider the student name is David. String. String names. Strings. Create list. Okay, this is missing, right? Okay. Student name. If it is student name, what is the point of use student names to the numbers team? So obviously we have to add only names, right? David, right? So like David, John, Anand. So we can add only names to that particular object. So what is the purpose of adding numbers to your student object? It's a meaningless, right? So that's why you can use your collection objects. Always prefer to use your collection objects type safety. Always that recommended to use your whenever you use collection object, use a generic version, right? So that is the use of generic string. Right? Hope you're not having any questions, right?
This conference will now be recorded.
Right? This is the code to use actually. But observe here, if I run this program, we are successfully getting exception. What exception team? No such element exception. Here, In console itself, you will get to know in which class you are getting exception and where you are getting exception. See, in this class, in where class jQuery site demo, this is the class. And where java.18 in this line, click on this one. So in this line, I am getting no such element exception. It is saying that boss, there is no this element observing. But observe, if I use this one, I am able to
ఒక చిన్న
identify.
డౌట్ అండి.
Yeah, ma'am.
ఫైండ్ ఎలిమెంట్ బై ఎక్స్ పాత్ ఎందుకు చేయలేదు, ఐడి ఎందుకు చేశారు?
Because it is having ID. ID is always unique. That's why I have given priority, always use ID. First of all, ID. If it is not having ID, go for CSS. If it is not possible with CSS, go for XPath.
ఓకే.
XPath you may get duplicates, but especially ID you won't get duplicates.
Single X path I can use that.
Inside XPath also you can use. See, for this element you can construct XPath by using this one ID also. So let me give you like this: // tag name @ID equals to, within the single quote you can give like this, single quotes you can give like this. Observe. If you want, you can use XPath, but preferable is ID here.
Okay.
This time you can use like this. Okay. Observe team. I am able to identify by using this element property, right? Yes, it is identifying. But here I am getting no such element exception for this element. For this box, I am not able to identify this element. Here the reason is, see, this is a web page, right? This is a web page. In this web page, this box is again considering as one more web page. Whatever the outer box, this outer box is considering as one more web page. Observe, if I inspect this one, see here. At the time of XPath, we discussed, right? So a web page is starting from HTML. Yes or no? Inside this HTML, this web page is also considering as one more web page. That's why it is starting with HTML. Clear? And here, if you want to observe here, the main thing you have to observe here, this is considering as frame. So front-end people implement application like this team. This is a web page. Inside web page, if you want to maintain some portion considering as one more web page, they'll give you like this. This is one more web page, like one more web page. This is we are saying as iframe. What it is, team? It is a iframe. Then how to know whether your web page having frame or not? And before that, why we are getting no such limit exception? Why our Selenium is not able to identify this text box, this draggable box? Because it is a web page, right? Your Selenium focus is up to now, it is focused in this out of the box, nothing but inside the web page, out of this particular iframe. So if this box is outside of this frame, now you can perform action, you can identify. But now your draggable box is inside of your frame. This is your box. Now, by using Selenium, you cannot identify directly that element, whatever the element is present inside the iframe. If you want, your Selenium has to identify this one. First of all, you have to move it inside this box. Nothing but inside a frame. Now my Selenium is focused on where? Outside of frame. So if you want to move here, if you want to identify, if you want to perform action inside this frame, first of all, you have to navigate into inside this frame. Then only you can perform action on this element, whatever the element present inside a frame. Then how to know whether your element is inside a frame? Here observing, this is a DOM structure, right? So here press Ctrl F, how we are writing expert. Here use tag name / iframe or else frame / iframe only, right? Iframe. See here, by using this syntax, by using this tag name, you can able to know whether your web page having the frames and even your element is present inside a frame or not. If it is inside a frame, directly you cannot perform action. This is how we can able to know whether element is present inside a frame or not. So, and most of the cases, frame tag name is either iframe or frame. Remember team, the frame tag name may be iframe or frame. You can use like this / iframe or frame. Clear? Then how to switch to this frame? Here you have to switch before identifying this element. After clicking this draggable, here, if you want to perform action here on this text box, first of all you have to switch into this frame. How to switch team? Here we have a syntax for switching. We have a method on where WebDriver. If you want to call WebDriver method, how to call team? How to call WebDriver method? Already we have a reference team driver dot switch to. Switch to is a method, right? So what is the switch to is returning team? What is switch to return type? My switch to return type is target locator, right? See, switch to return type is target locator. So let me give and let me store it into target and import this target locator from where? org.openq.selenium. Now, target locator. What is a target locator theme? Again, it is an interface. Inside this target locator, so we have a methods. So what is this one? Right, let me write pseudocode of this target locator. Target locator is an interface coming from org.openq.selenium. By using this target locator, you can switch to different active elements like this. If you want to switch to frame, we have a method called public void frame method. Frame or iframe? I think iframe. Frame method. Inside a target locator, if you want to switch to frame, there is a method called frame method. So this frame method is overloaded method team. We are having three methods: frame. Can I maintain like this? No, right? So we have to differentiate it to parameters. Index number, and we can use string like this, name, and there is one more parameter called web element, EL. And even by using target locator method, even if you have a multiple windows, you can switch to another window. For that, we are having public void window. Window method. What is the use of window method, team? We can switch to another window or new window, right? And if there is a pop-up, we can use public void alert. Switch to alert. We can use this method to switch into alert. As of now, let me use frame method because we are discussing frame, right? Let me use frame method. Inside target locator, call the method what frame. Observe frame index, frame name, frame web element. Let me use web element frame. Now frame method asking parameter what web element. Now I have to find this web element. How to find him? Inspect this frame, right? So this is the frame, this frame having src and class name. So if it is a class name, I can use this directly class name, right? So let me write class name here, driver dot find element by data. I can use class name. Let me use class name. What is the class name here? This one. Let me store it into web element, right? Store it into web element on of my frame. This is frame. Now I can able to identify my frame, right? Now if you want to switch, use driver dot switch method, and frame it is asking web element. Okay, so let me execute this one, then we will close this one after executing. Okay, so this is how we have to write the code team. First of all, if you want to perform action on this one, first of all you have to switch to this frame. After that, you can able to perform action. So I'm sending this code to try to do this one. Try to run this code, and please let me know if you have any doubts and any issues. Okay, team. Thank you, team.
ఓకే అండి. అయితే ఇప్పుడు ఆ ఫ్రేమ్ ఒకటి చేంజ్ చేసేస్తే ఎగ్జిక్యూట్ అవుతుందా ప్రోగ్రామ్?
Yes, ma'am.
ఓకే.